welcome back. Now, my next guest, Cassie Chapple, is just 30 years old, but for the last 9 years she's been experiencing health problems more in common with someone at least twice her age. That's because in her mid-20s, Cassie was diagnosed with premature menopause and was told she had next to no chance of conceiving. She's here now along with Dr. Hilary Jones. Thanks for joining us. And first of all, a bit of a congratulations. As we can all see, you must be thrilled. You're having the baby you were told you would never ever have.
Yes, exactly. It was a bit of a surprise, to say the least, but here it is.
And a little brother or sister for your
We don't know yet. We're keeping it as a surprise, but I'm hoping for a girl.
Brilliant. Now, a long time ago, 9 years ago, you started experiencing problems with your periods, and in your mid-20s you were told you'd actually gone through a premature menopause.
Yeah.
What went through your brain when you were told that?
I think I'd expected half of it because I've been told for so many years it was coming, or you could be going through it, or it was a premature ovarian failure. So I was kind of expecting it, but when I actually got told you have gone through it, it was upsetting, to say the least.
I read that you felt as a woman like a failure.
Yeah, I suppose when you're told you're never going to be able to have children ever again. I mean, I was quite grateful, very grateful that I actually managed to have one. There's a lot of women out there who don't have any at all. But I wouldn't say a failure as such, but more, I don't know, not womanly, I suppose.
And how did your partner react? Because
when I told him?
Yeah.
I think quite shocked. I don't think he actually believed it. I think, he told me, I think you should go and see your GP quickly and get it confirmed, which I did. And after the 4th pregnancy test, it all came back positive. I think he believed it.
And you were having HRT because of the symptoms of the menopause.
Yeah.
And you were feeling dreadful. Describe some of those symptoms.
During the 6 months I was taking HRT, I took 3 different types. The first couple of types I took really didn't agree with me. It made me feel sick, tired, woozy, just really not pleasant at all. The last type I took was absolutely great, made me feel brilliant, but into about 3 months into it, I started feeling really nauseous, tired.
Had you got any inclination at that stage that you were pregnant?
Yeah, wishful thinking on my part, yes. Believing it 100% no. But obviously I did, because I took a pregnancy test and it came back positive, so yeah.
Dr. Hilary, is this the wrong diagnosis or just one of those things that we say a lot of the time, but is it actually a miracle baby?
Well, it's a very, very rare baby. Certainly, no, there wasn't a wrong diagnosis because we do have tests that measure ovarian reserve. Cassie also had symptoms of a premature menopause. And this does happen to thousands of women under 40 and a very few under 30 like Cassie. So it does happen. And the chances of conceiving are very, very small unless you have help. But, to conceive naturally is extremely unusual. I don't use the word miracle very often. It is incredibly a small chance. And here Cassie is with the second child, so fantastic. But just a few follicles, just a few eggs in the remaining in the ovary. It just takes some quirk of nature to stimulate that egg, which is fertilised, and that seems to have happened in Cassie's case.
When you are going through something like this, whether you're trying to conceive or not, are there any symptoms that you might think, oh, maybe I am going through the early menopause? Or a lot of women just have bizarre irregular periods.
Yes, they do. And usually irregular periods will be due to some other hormonal fluctuation. Stress is a very common one, for example. But if there are also hot flushes, night sweats, altered libido, mood swings, things that you'd see in women aged 50 usually, then you would start to think, could I be having a premature menopause, and go and see the doctor to get some tests done.
And once those tests have been done and that's been confirmed that you're on this road, is there anything that can be done by the doctors to slow it down? Because it's not always going to end in this amazingly good story, is it?
No, there's very little that can be done because the ovarian reserve is determined naturally. All female babies are born with 100,000 eggs. But if you think about it, they release 1 a month between the ages of, say, 15 and 50. That's not many eggs. So what happens to all the others? We don't really know. They just get absorbed and they die away. So what causes that, whether it's viral infection, autoimmune disease, where you make antibodies to those eggs, we don't really know. But there's nothing you can do to preserve them as such, apart from healthy living, generally, which is what we encourage people to do.
An amazing amount of good luck in Cassie's
and a lot
case.
Of good luck.
Congratulations, good luck for July.
Absolutely.
Thank you both for joining me today. Thank you. Lots more still to come between now and 9:25, including a tasty treat from Chef Al.